we are planning some really cool content coming up here on Legends Look Back, including a Crimson Empire roundtable. This was for me at one of my sleeper hits. The Legends book I'd heard about, had never read. The comic got the Crimson Empire trilogy on Comixology. Blew me away. Absolutely knocked my Legends socks off. So last year, I think it was last year. Time seems nebulous, doesn't it? Anyway, there was 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Black Series and anniversary figures. You know what I'm talking about. We're celebrating the Legends universe. One of them being this character. There's all this debate about who this character is because of a misprint on the box. Freddie and I covered this back when it came out.
Breaking news.
And then this week, Rick, new to the team, wasn't on the show when we first discussed all this. He messages with a similar question. Rick, what's the confusion all about?
Yeah, and actually, I was on the show for that one. I was.
Oh yeah, it was great. I loved having you there.
I was new. Yeah, thanks for that. And but I had no clue who the character was, and so now that I'm preparing for Crimson Empire, I got my own because I have to, right? And so yeah, you look at the box and it says Carnor Jax. Interesting.
Not related to Connor Fett.
Yeah, I know. Carnor. Okay. But you open it up and it doesn't quite look like him, though he's being described over here. And like on my my GameStop sticker, it says Kier Kanos. So I don't know what character this actually is. I'm really confused. And so I think I'm just going to go with Carnor Kanos or Kier Jax. I don't know.
No.
So
No.
It's definitely a misprint, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is Kier Kanos. This is Kier Kanos. Mm-hmm. The box says Carnor Jax. Now, here's the thing, Rick.
Yes.
I just got mine in the mail.
Uh-huh.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't you get yours in the mail months ago? Why, yes, I did. But then on whatever website I ordered this friggin' thing from, they said, hey, we're releasing a redo. We're fixing it. And you can get one. And I was like, great. So I ordered the Kier Kanos the other day. It ships and it gets here. And it's still Carnor Jax. So now I've got two of these things.
It's funny because they acknowledged it, right?
There was an apology tour and everything. Or a tweet.
Yeah, there was a whole tweet, an apology tweet of, oh, yes, we understand we got this wrong. And of course, Jared and I were like, let's get as many of these as we can so that we can sell it, later on.
No, that wasn't my scheme. I just want the right one. And one misprint, sure.
Yeah. So, I want the right one as well, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to get it. I feel like I have to see it, have to have the evidence first before
I'll show you.
It's true.
If I ever get one, I don't want to be that person, in customer service that's like, my Star Wars action figure has the wrong name on it.
It's I ordered model.
One, and then I reordered again, and it's still wrong. I want my money back. $24.99.
You gave me a Carnor Jax. I want a Kier Kanos.
It's the exact same figure. Product. I just want the box to say the right name because these are really nice. Really nice. Now, our buddy Matt, who edits The Living Force, he got a Thrawn Black Series 50th anniversary, and then he got the Luke from Heir to the Empire. Mm-hmm. He opened them both, took the Ysalamari from Luke, and wrapped it around Thrawn's neck.
Yeah.
And that is so sweet. And so I'm trying to convince.
It's pretty rad.
It's rad. I've been going back and forth for months on if I want to spend $24.99 on.
For months?
Months. Correct. Yeah, months. Well, I've been maybe 6. Could be 8 or 10. I've been going back and forth for forever on if I'm going to spend $24.99 on that 2-inch Ysalamari. Yeah. I might, but I haven't yet.
I'm glad you explain your decision-making process on what to buy and what not to buy sometimes.
Right now, the decision-making process is trying to afford to go to Star Wars Celebration. My goodness, flights are not cheap right now. And then it's like a rental car from LAX to my hotel. I just am like, or a Uber. Anyway, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Will you say Uber again?
No, I don't feel good. I'm sick. In case you can't tell.
But Rick, I'm glad you had the same exact moment that Jared and I had when we opened it. We both had we open it, right, and then we're kind of doubting ourselves a little bit, thinking, wait, how could they get this wrong? And you look at it and you look at online, and then you go into the chat and say, hey, Jared. And he's like, yes, I know. That's when you know you've had a true Legends moment.
Exactly.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I will say, Carnor Jax is a cool looking character
Yes.
and would make for a great one of these.
Yeah.
So, he's got like the black and red.
Right.
They're like arch nemesis. But then if they made one, then I would have a box that says Carnor Jax with Carnor Jax inside. And then I would have a box that says Carnor Jax with Kier Canos inside.
Yeah.
Which is too much.
What's funny?
But the good news, now that we've got 2 of these, we're going to give away one of these to one of our lucky listeners
Ooh.
live on the show next week. I've kept the box and the bubble wrap and everything. So all you got to say is, come in live for the show next week. We'll have some kind of contest, and got to say legends, 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 or something like that. Well, if you say that tonight, you know what's going to happen? We're going to start the show. So let me hear it.
Legends, legends, legends.
Ooh.
There it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back. This is a show that is proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network. It is a Star Wars books podcast made with the help of my good friend and yours from Microsoft, Clippy. You know what I'm talking about? Where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mace. Feeling great. Feeling great. And joined, that really backfired, joined my rad Californian co-host, Freddie C.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take over the show tonight.
Please do.
Hey man, it's funny. I know we've got a Thrack and Swift store later on in the show, and I can't wait to show it. But the pretext of that is completely not expecting anything. Never showed up on my card. Don't know where it came from. Package magically appeared on my doorstep, and
Oh yes,
I'm loving it.
that happened to somebody the other day. Somebody, it was when Corey got a package. What was that came in the mail?
It was the pool hat.
The pool hat.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I died.
Somebody sent him a pool hat. That was
I think
good.
it was Carl. He's one of our writers.
Okay. And then somebody sent Eric stickers, but they were like sci-fi fantasy stickers, and he didn't know who sent them. And it was like, anybody on the team send me these? I love them. And I was like, no, you don't. These are weird. Anyway, also joined tonight by her lonesome, but not for long, Emily Daybeck. How are you?
I am very, very pregnant. I'm at the point in pregnancy where you're eating spoonfuls of Nutella from the jar.
Ooh.
If anybody knows and
I must
can
be
relate.
pregnant all the time.
Really the only way to eat it. I feel like anytime I eat Nutella on something, I'm just disappointed. Like I just want Nutella. I don't want anything else. And I've stopped lying to myself at this point in my life and this pregnancy.
Nice.
I will say, Emily, we'd see you from, here, shoulders up, right on the show.
You want to bump?
You've been talking about being pregnant for forever. She got up a few minutes before the show started to
Here, I'll do it.
go get something. And I was like, I forgot she's pregnant. Look
There
at that
it
thing.
is.
Look at that thing, which
That's a
brings
baby.
us to tonight's
There's a baby
topic
in there.
of the best babies of the EU. And I'm really glad your baby wasn't born yet, so
Yes.
that you can
We
join
had a bit of a
us.
scare last week.
Right, if you watch the last 10 minutes of last week's show, Emily looks rough. I mean, wonderful, beautiful, but uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
I was in a
And-
lot of discomfort. Yeah.
I am like, what's the word for somebody who is like way too in tune with other people's moods?
An
Empath.
empath?
Empathetic.
I don't know what that is, but like if somebody around me is in a bad
Why'd you
mood,
ask?
I like key in on it real bad. I'm like, what's wrong
Uh.
with them? Something's wrong. I don't feel good.
Yep.
I was getting really uncomfortable for you last week, Emily, but I'm glad you look a lot better tonight. Can I say that? You look
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome,
yeah, we found
Brit.
out baby's
Go ahead.
facing the wrong way. And that's
Uh-oh.
why my body is just kind of having a hard time figuring out what's going on. So
Well,
it's
sometimes-
causing some back pain and cramping and whatnot. So
well, F's in the
Yeah.
chat for Emily's back pain. I will say Rick's
Thanks.
got a button he can press there, behind the scenes to flip you around, like he does it sometimes
Oh.
if Freddie's looking the wrong direction.
well,
Yeah.
let's give
So-
that a shot.
Yeah, if he
Maybe
can get
that'll
the
help.
baby to flip around. Speaking
I
of
would love
whom,
that.
we've got our producer this week flipping everybody around which way in that Rick Grace. How are
The
you,
baby
Rick?
himself.
I'm here. I'm wonderful. I have a surprise for y'all, kind of. Not really. It's just a goofy
Ooh.
thing. It's not that big, but I want to make sure we've moved on past Emily's pregnancy, or else it'll be really awkward. So we're just.
Do you have a baby too, Rick?
Ooh. Plot
No.
twist. Wait.
No.
Okay.
Rick and I
should I just tell you
went
now,
separate
like-
ways. Rick and I went to college together. Went separate ways. Ways. That's a tough one for me tonight for some reason. Separate rays too.
There you
Laser
go.
beams. Right after college, we both had children. Fairly shortly after college, and then every time I get together with him, he'll mention something about his kids, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you got kids. That's weird. You didn't used to. That's how it works." All right,
Yeah.
Rick, what you got? Thrack and Thrift Store time.
Let's see. What do I got? Oh, so for Thracken's Thrift Store. So yeah, big change from last week. By the way, thanks Wes for pointing out that my setup looks good.
Does look great.
That's thanks to my garage door came into my new house, and so I got to move stuff around in my house and kind of get stuff out of boxes, and so I'm recustomizing some things, and I'm really excited about it. So I have more in my corner now. I'm still in a corner, but my corner's a lot cooler.
Your shelves look great.
So like everything feels new right now because it's like out of the box again. Here's my Chimera pen just to show Jared.
He
that I
does
got
have one.
too.
Yeah, I was bragging about how I've got one, and he already had one.
Let's see.
Wait, how did you get one?
How did I get one? Oh, I bought some books from Corey, and he sent me some the books and then a bunch of other like
Yeah.
old UTN stuff, like bookmarks and stuff.
Okay,
I feel
yeah.
like I got something else this week. Maybe it was the Crimson Empire figure. I'm not even gonna say his name.
You probably wouldn't be right anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I know, right? There's something else I was going to show off, but I will show off the wonderful T-shirt I'm wearing. That is
Okay.
very on theme for tonight.
Do the side view like
Ooh.
Emily did.
Oh yeah, I will. Don't worry. But what's fun about it is my wife got me this shirt because my son had not a matching, but a onesie, and so this is a good old eye roll. You ready? Get your eye stretches.
Oh man, here we go.
Oh.
For our audio listeners, Rick is now showing off his wonderful torso
Yes.
that
Who would
has
like this side too?
it's got Darth Vader, and underneath it,
Oh, jeez.
in all caps, it says "Daddy."
Yep.
And then he showed off his bump.
Yeah.
His daddy bump.
Sorry it wasn't full screen, but you got the picture. So
Which reminds me, Rick, maybe you can get in on this. I'm looking for 3 people to join me at Star Wars Celebration to cosplay as the Dad Batch.
nice, dude.
The dad batch.
I
I
would
thought
be
y'all
all
were
for
going
that.
as the twins.
But
I'm
I
thinking
have
like,
money.
no, I'm thinking
Mm.
like, I'm
Or
not going to be
Salacious
Salacious Speak
Speak
Crumb
Crumb.
either, Freddie. I'm thinking about like the headband that Hunter has, and then like a fanny pack, like a diaper bag over the shoulder. I don't know. I haven't
That
figured
would,
it all
dude,
out
it'd be
yet.
so good. You'd have
that
oh,
would
yeah.
be great. You would get a lot of cred for that, I think.
I
I'd
wish
probably
I
just
could.
wear Utini shirts instead.
Ne-
All right,
maybe
Freddie.
next time.
You gotta
Freddie, you've got
commit.
something. What you got?
Yeah, so this came in and sitting on my on my doorstep. Had no idea what it was. My name on it too, and I hadn't ordered anything in a long time because, as everyone on the show is doing, there's a bit of moving going on in my life too. So I wasn't expecting anything, and then this showed up. I'm not sure if you got this
Mm.
from Book of Boba Fett.
Whoa.
Oh, that's the one with the colorful knee pads. That's how you know he's from
Yep,
the new show.
exactly.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because I didn't even remember buying this. So
Congratulations.
congrats
Nice.
me. Yeah,
That's
my
cool.
How many
little
Boba
baby.
Fett Funkos are out there. I've got one.
Yeah, I've got the vanilla one. It's got
I think
all
there's
the,
more than 10. There could
I
be.
don't know.
There's a bunch.
Mine doesn't have the knee pads. I don't know which one mine is.
Fewer than the baby's Yoda. There's a lot of
Oh man.
Grogu's out there. There are a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have any new collectibles to show off this week other than, my second here, Canos.
The
Carnivore
cold you
Jacks.
picked up. Yeah.
I'm so glad they
I
fixed that.
can.
Oh, I remember what I was going to show off now. I'm going to get in trouble
By the
for
way,
this.
when I laugh when I'm sick, I sound like Salacious Speak
Oh,
Crumb.
it's
don't
the
I?
best. I can't wait. How many times can we make
I was actually thinking today about how sometimes children are a blessing. Sometimes they're like, how do you say it, Kowakian monkey lizards? That's like their personality. That is what a child is. They're like watching you to see how they can make your day miserable. Anyway, I love kids. Kids are great. So what I meant to show off too, my wife got me some mugs last week, and so that's why I was so like emoting so highly there, because I'm gonna get in trouble for forgetting about them.
Oh yeah.
So she got me a periodic table of Star Wars with a bunch of characters on it. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then
Is there a youngling
I don't
for
think
tonight's
so.
episode?
I don't think. Well, let's see. There might be. And then a Mandalorian
I like that
bounty
one.
hunter mug's pretty sweet.
I love it.
I can't tell the age of this. It's this Tusken Raider, so maybe BB-8's on there. He's kind of youngish, right?
We'll count it. BB-8. I mean, it sounds like a baby. My kids call it baby.
There you go. And then a
Yeah.
The Office mug, the best quote ever on it. So
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Wrong Star franchise, Rick.
Listen,
Come on,
as
Rick.
always.
if it's got star in it, I like it. So
I've got a mug too now. That
That's
reminds
fair.
me, I'm drinking some hot tea tonight because it's that kind of night. I got the new Utini mug
Ooh.
available at utini.com/merch.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it is the label on it is so big and wide that you cannot see the whole thing.
Oh,
So yeah, here we go.
There you
People
go.
can see
it's
it
a
here.
rotator.
All right, all the way around. Yeah, got to go all the way. Yep.
Very nice.
There
And
you
it's like
go.
a fashion show for my mug.
Beautiful.
Classic
Now,
Utini mug.
I've ordered a couple of other things that are not here yet, completed. Hopefully, we'll see when I get them all up on the shelf. According to my spreadsheet, this will now complete my Knights Young. What is it called? Young Jedi Knights paperback series. And then one more thing, to hold the paperbacks, I bought bookshelves.
Ooh.
So
You just hold up a piece of a bookshelf.
We're seeing the nice
Yeah.
depth and darkness of this wood.
That's
This
a
is-
black piece of wood, Jared.
I spent
Good
2
job.
full days out in my garage
Wow.
painting these bookshelves because Target didn't have black; they had gray.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it matches exactly structurally the black one that I have right there.
Hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'll buy the gray and I'll paint them. Worst decision ever.
Mm.
Worst decision ever. I mean, these things, I used, my wife was like, oh, for bookshelves, you should try chalk paint. I've heard that works. I was
Mhm.
like, cool, I'll do it. She's like, warning, it'll take a lot of coats. She was right. She was right. Yeah. It took me
Ooh.
2 full days.
Wow, that's a lot.
So hopefully next week, my Legends paperbacks will be
It's like-
off the floor and will be on the shelf. They're just in a pile. It's shameful.
Mm.
Absolutely shameful. Well, this episode is not shameful. However, we've got 2 more little things to discuss in the world of Legends news before we get into the thick of it. Just drop my books. All right.
Into the thick of it.
There was a little bit of news this week, guys. Did you see it?
Just a little bit. Nothing too big. Maybe a little bit big.
Talk
You
about
know,
the Star Trek show trailer that came out.
Oh, there now he's mentioned Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm not
We
sure what
kick
Rick's
him
doing
out.
on this show.
Is there a way?
He's the one that presses the button.
I have all the power.
Dang.
Yeah. So the Kenobi trailer dropped this week.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Star Wars story. What are they calling that thing? A Disney Plus original. What is there a subtitle? That's the worst name ever. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean,
I think it's just Kenobi.
How is that a bad name?
it's
It
not
describes
imaginative.
what it is.
Let's watch
It's not
an Obi-Wan
alliterated.
Kenobi.
It's not
Hey, I like that.
a pun.
I
They
would
could have called
be-
it "Hello There," a Star Wars story.
Hello there. Okay.
That would have been good with
funny.
old Ben, but that's kind of
Yeah, like Old Man Logan.
I feel like Kenobi is the perfect title, but
It's not called
these
that.
are also great creative titles
called-
too. It's not.
It's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's
Is
his
it really all 3 or
whole.
one
Yeah.
and a half?
It's like
So that's-
Everybody
up
just
a
keeps
lot.
referring to it as Kenobi, so I just assumed
which would have been a better name.
it would have been a better name.
Anyway,
Oh,
we're
wow.
opinionated. It looks great. Freddie,
Mhm.
what's your impression of the trailer?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I like that in the trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should probably have seen it by now, so no spoiler alerts there.
Okay, Indar said he has been avoiding the trailer.
All right, give us
Okay.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay, if you're avoiding spoilers, First of all, I do anything in my power to avoid spoilers, but teaser trailers are put out there for a reason, which is to gain that hype, right? So if you don't need the hype, then there's no worries there. But for those who are not into the Star Wars universe as much as we are, it needs to give some sort of sample of what we're expecting to see, right? And here is the spoiler alert: we're seeing quite a bit of stuff that was talked about in Legends, right? We've got Inquisitors.
That's right. People forget that they were led in Legends first.
They were in Legends first.
Sparingly and very late in the Legends
And
timeline.
the biggest one, what is Obi-Wan writing in the desert? But none other than an EOP.
I know
Mhm.
that I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme in person. My wife and I were watching it. I was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
got a drink in his hand, right? Yeah. Rick, here's the,
Oh, mine's
the
different. Mine's the
thumbnail.
champagne.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, the champagne one.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. So we've got the Inquisitors, we've got the EOP, and the voiceover is very straightforward with what we're expecting to see. Right, it's hard for Jedi to stay hidden because they want to do good, and you're gonna see a guy doing some acrobatic moves. Chances of him being good and being that acrobatic kind of put him in the Jedi tree. So I feel like they're going to go after a lot of people that are probably not Jedi.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't see Inquisitors though, right? In the book, which it's a welcome introduction.
It's a smaller story. It's more Tatooine focused. The
Mhm.
book, we're going to get there. We're going to do a big event centering around the book coming up in May.
Yeah.
Sounds right, in May.
Mhm.
And in the book, it's just Tatooine. You got all the sand people. You got the Eopes.
Yeah.
Jawas don't play a big part, but they're mentioned. Anyway, it's all Tatooine all the time. Monkey Jabba, he's there.
Monkey Jabba.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Mm.
John Jackson Miller, who wrote this legendary Legends book called Kenobi, teased that something is going to be announced regarding him and Star Wars Kenobi related.
Yes.
So we
What
already
if he
know
writes
that.
another
That's what I'm thinking, Emily. Emily said, "What if he writes another one?"
Oh, man.
Here's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking: not a Legends Kenobi sequel, though that would be, the ideal. My speculation is he's writing the novelization.
Okay,
Mm.
that could work too.
Well,
What do y'all think?
Okay.
What could he be teasing?
okay, so James Lucino and Timothy Zahn both kind of retcon some of their characters and some of their Legends works into canon. Because when Lucino wrote Tarkin, he mentions a couple characters from Darth Plagueis, and so kind of got to make that connection. And similarly, I mean, Timothy Zahn, Thrawn's all over the place. It's different, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to do the same thing. John Jackson Miller, if he gets to maybe write in some characters from Kenobi in a canon book set in the same time period.
Okay,
Maybe not.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Maybe
Putting it in my
not-
moisture evaporator.
Yeah, maybe not be entirely Kenobi centric, but like maybe a Lars story.
All right, grab my book off the shelf. Keep talking, Rick.
That'd be fun, like a Lars story, of growing up with young Luke or something, or I don't know, just
I have been loving putting Luke in things lately. That
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me.
it'd be cool.
Well, there was this a little scene where we saw Obi-Wan watching Luke, right, in the trailer itself, and we got to
Mhm.
see him doing
That's
something
where
that
the
we
meme
would probably
originated.
Yeah, very meme.
Yeah, that's
worthy.
for the
Binoculars.
the Legends Palpatine meme. That's where that originated from. And he's doing something similar that we would expect to see in Anakin. So you can tell there's that's definitely Anakin's son. There's no doubt.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's like playing pod racer out there on the homestead. Now,
Hmm.
since we've mentioned it, Rick,
Mhm.
John Jackson Miller wrote a short story
Uh-huh.
From a certain point of view,
Yes.
Ah,
in which case a Yark, the queen of the sand people or whatever her title
Uh-huh.
is in a
Oh.
marginally canon book.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it could happen. There's already a precedent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Plug Eye, as they
Yeah.
call her.
Plug Eye.
that's
yeah.
right.
Ah.
Plug
She had,
eye.
and it was because
Yes.
Plug Eye had the thing in her eye. You know, maybe I'll steer away from this conversation now. All of those who wanted to come back, here's your unspoiler alert.
Okay, thumbs
I'm
up
excited.
means come back. Here we go. If they're watching,
Excited.
all right,
Come
here
back.
we go. Moving along. Move along.
Move on.
One more piece of brief Legends news to mention is there was a new Epic collection released. I don't know if we mentioned this last week or not. We're just going to at least plug it here. Legacy Volume 2. I don't know what they've called it as an Epic collection, but it features the entire run of Legacy Volume 2 starring Anya Solo. Yeah, that's the one with like C-3PO in a murder droid body. Right, Brady? What's that droid's called?
Oh man, I can't remember that droid's name.
000, something like that.
No, that's canon. Get out of here.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My bad.
There's the door. What is that? We got
Second time
canon.
tonight we've kicked Rick off the show. It's
He's
oh,
leaving.
a
He's
canon
gone. Wait,
reference?
who's gonna produce
Battlestar
this?
Galactica, Star Trek. We got this.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. Well, this is good. There is an IG droid who, and it's a fan theory, right, Freddie? I don't think this is like official.
Yeah. It's a fan theory.
C3PX.
That's
Thank
it,
you,
that's
Emma.
it.
Comics fan. She's read this, right? Probably. She says she has. She at least knew the character's name. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So people think that it is C3PO programmed into an IG droid, which is really, really cool. You know what else is cool? Babies. So without further ado, let's birth them.
Breathe.
It's the best back cover since Star Wars Episode 1 hardcover novelization. The one with young Anakin, because on the back, just to remind y'all, is a full headshot of Watto.
It's so big.
I think I brought this up on one of the earliest episodes of the Living
my
Force
God, yeah.
ever, and I thought I'd bring it back.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Series and all of Legends. What do you guys think? Could it be the X-Wing series? Might just be the
It
most
was pretty steamy.
romance
yes.
intensive series ever. And we're not just talking about the scene where Corran Horn describes his love affair with an otter. I mean, a Salonian that he hooked up with her and then he broke out in chives.
Yeah, not chives.
In
Not
chives.
chives.
What's it called? The bumps?
Hives, dude. Hives.
Chives
so
go on your
close.
potato.
I'm hearing you say the same thing.
Chives,
What
what
is-
you put on the under potato. No C. Hives.
Hives.
Not chives.
What'd I say?
Chives.
It's not a very common story to approach. Yeah, again, drawing the complex family tree of Django to clone identical son to clone all identical millions of sons, but they're a generation older. So then the son is kind of all Django's equal, but then Boba is a generation younger. But then that clone's son is Boba's age. But then is Boba his dad or his nephew or his uncle or his cousin? It's like.
All right, so I have a very important question. We're talking about babies. Babies, the best babies of the EU. Can somebody help me out? Where exactly do babies come from? I'm hoping, Emily,
Oh no.
maybe you can help me out. Where
What are you doing?
Where do babies come from?
I've always wondered. Freddie, could you explain? You know everything.
Yeah, Freddie.
Hold on. How do you not know?
Let's see.
There's
First,
a lot of things that happen to me. I have no idea.
you get a baked potato.
It
Put
always
it in the
starts with
microwave
the baked
for 3
potato.
minutes.
Yes.
And then you put some sour cream, some butter on it.
I'm lactose intolerant.
And well, that's how
Rick to the
babies are made then.
All right.
Baked
potatoes. Now, Rick,
potatoes.
did you mean where do babies come from in Legends? Because things are a little bit wild and
Ooh.
wacky in
I'm
Legends.
just gonna leave the question open. I mean, this is an educational show, but if,
Open to all
if
answers.
we need to narrow our scope, then I guess it's okay for us to move forward, making this a Legends answer.
Well, there are a lot of Legends babies that come from the Bacta tank. No, what are those? The cloning tank.
The cloning
Cloning tank.
tank, yeah.
That's a good point.
A lot
Yeah.
of
There's some
Palpatines.
midichlorian
was
action
about
at
to
some
say.
point.
Yeah.
Well,
Emma,
Yeah.
Palpatine.
Potential.
There's a story with Palpatine trying to get in a baby.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Ah.
Yeah, we're not going to touch the topic any further than we already have of
Jared-
where
Yeah.
babies come from in Legends. But
Jared,
what we
hold
will
on.
do,
You didn't let Freddie finish. Do you put chives on the potato? Emma
Uh,
wants to know.
Not if it gives you chives.
it's in all caps too. I love that.
Oh, that was
Oh,
perfect.
that's so good.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness.
continue,
We are
continue.
going, however, to talk about something. What was I saying?
I have no clue.
Babies.
I think it depends on the species, right? Are we talking human babies? Is that what most
Oh,
of
okay,
babies in
cutting this
Legends
topic
are?
off. Cutting it off.
Okay.
But we are talking about a number of babies who have had some very questionable things happen to them before they're even born.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
this happens a lot in Legends. We're going to get there. Start us off,
What a
Emily, at the
great
top
thing.
here with some of the most notable babies in the EU.
Well, we've got the classic, the twins, Jason and Jaina Solo, which we read about in Timothy Zahn's The Thrawn trilogy, right?
Yeah, that's where they originate.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Freddie?
Yeah, I believe they're mentioned, but obviously we don't see them until. a bit
Yeah, they're not
later
born
on.
yet, I don't think, until the third,
Yeah.
the last command. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
last
and-
command is get this baby out of me. Am I right?
and
I did think
and-
that Timothy Zahn did a really great job describing pregnancy. I thought he did a really great job, like explaining Leia's like transition from motherhood into, or from pregnancy into motherhood.
That's a very interesting topic because as a male, when I read it, I just see it in the
You
paper.
skim.
I can't.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can't. You can't. I
You can't relate to having a
relate to it
being
at all,
growing inside
so-
you that like completely connects with every part of your
Well,
life.
after those chives, you never know.
I'm never going to live this down.
Different kind of delivery.
but Jason and Jaina are very they're definitely ingrained in Legends, and we get to see them
Mhm.
from the unborn names to the who they become later on and their family, which is very interesting. But in most cases, right, we've seen numerous, and I see it here in the show notes too, which is fantastic, but there's numerous attempted kidnappings. I believe there's successful kidnappings.
Yeah.
Is that right?
sometimes. Yeah, I know there's one in.
I feel
Oh,
like
one of
there's a
those-
theme with all the Jedi babies. People just try to take them.
And
they
they
can't
wander
ever
off.
just stay.
They're
They
like,
wander
"Give me
off
them Jedi
into-
babies. People want to see the baby with Baby Yoda. The people want to take the baby.
They
want
all
to
want
the
to take the
Legends
I want to
Jedi
see the
babies.
baby.
That's right. That's right.
Uh,
Yeah, I know there's one in
yeah.
the Young Jedi Knight series where somebody captures him and takes him to the Shadow Academy.
Hmm.
That's all. It's like the Jedi Academy,
Yeah,
but the bad one.
Ooh.
It's a space
the
station,
Gray Jedi.
not a moon. Right. And then there's another one in like the main, like there's several big Bantam trilogies between the Thrawn trilogy
yeah,
and the New Jedi Order. One of those, maybe every single one of those trilogies has the Solo children getting kidnapped.
and then we see the Solo children, Jason and Jaina, wander into the core of of Coruscant.
Yeah.
After 'cause I
Forgot
think
about
who is it? C-3PO
3PO,
is
yeah.
is taking care of
I know
them.
that story. Is that X-wing or is that no? It would because it Jedi Academy trilogy or Thrawn.
It sounds like, let's see, there's probably some assassinations. Let's see, the Wookiee is involved, so Chewbacca's involved in taking care of them. Yeah, I was trying to remember which Wookiee, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
got to
it's
be
one
Chewbacca.
one of the books from the Jedi Academy
The
trilogy.
Wookiee.
Okay.
Because
Remember this one.
I had the concussion. I remember reading that and thinking, is my brain broken? Or did C-3PO, was he like watching them?
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
babysitting.
And then they were like, we want to go down here, down the elevator. And he's like, no, don't do that. And they do it anyway. And then
I like
they
there are a
just-
couple concerning things you just said. A, that they wander into the center of Coruscant, and also why were you reading with a concussion? I feel like that's
Oh,
not
that
a
was
great choice.
Important question.
He tried. He tried.
Oh.
I was reading print books instead of on my iPad, like instead of screens. I had to do something.
Mm.
It was still
Okay.
pushing it like what my brain can handle.
I
It
can
was,
imagine.
Yeah, that was. If we recap on that. It was a snowboarding incident, right, Jared?
I'm going
You're on the-
snowboarding next week. I'm going on
You were on the
this-
half
Oh
pipe.
my gosh.
I'm going on a ski trip with the church. Yeah, I'm excited. No
That's great.
concussions this time.
Oh man,
Oh goodness.
famous
Wait,
last
they
words.
were
Someone.
going back to the twins. They were
Yeah.
taken care of for like the beginning part of their lives by Winter, I believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was really interesting because the first time I encountered Winter as a character was during the Thrawn trilogy. And after like reading more afterwards, it's surprising to me that like she was basically their nanny.
Yeah.
And at the time I just thought, okay, like she's the nanny. But then like knowing more about her, she's like, are we allowed to say bad? I know she's like she's really, really cool. We'll just say that. And I don't know, but seeing how many kidnapping attempts apparently they've been through, I can understand why you would want a special nanny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can say
like-
rad, Emily. We say rad.
Rad.
here on the
I'm
show
sorry.
because we've got the '90s aesthetic.
The most
You're right.
rad nanny you
Rad.
could have.
She's a rad nanny. I would
She's
love it
a-
if she would nanny my children. That'd
She's
be
a
great.
slicer.
That
She's
wouldn't
probably-
be sus
Is,
at all.
She has like was it photographic memory? She remembers everything.
Yep.
That would
definitely.
really not be good with children. No.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
children
Remember.
also have really good memories too, so it's
Oh my
probably
goodness, yes.
for the best.
Now, this is a trope with Han and Leia's kids. Is they're like, all right, we can't have the kids in danger. Let's leave them behind somewhere
To keep
with
them safe.
somebody.
Yeah, that would be
And then
better.
dark side assassins come and try to kidnap them,
Yeah.
or successfully kidnap them, or as we're going to talk about with the next character, sometimes, Palps, clothed, but he was formerly naked, did come and try to like take over the essence. We'll get there.
Oh man.
Anyway, it's not a good idea. They just talked about this last
Essence
night on the Living Force.
of the children.
That on the Cosmic Force they did Rise of Kylo Ren.
Mm.
And there, Kylo Ren complains that my parents were too busy for me, so they left me behind with a babysitter all my years growing up. And I was
They
like,
do that all the
legends.
time.
Legends did it first. That's right.
Yep.
Some-
I mean, if you think about it, it's a pretty intense sacrifice because on one side, let's take a in-universe look at what's going on. Leia has still a whole, at this point, it's not even a rebellion. It's what is it? We're already in the firm republic, right? The new republic at this point. And what's going on is she still has a lot of people that are relying on her. A lot of, Mon Mothma's relying on her. The whole republic is relying on her. And it's a sacrifice of, okay, I could focus on my two kids or carry this entire galactic republic into the future with which they had only darkness, right? And so it's an intense sacrifice that she has to make. And you could see it in the books too. She struggles a lot with it because she just wants to be with her kids.
Mm.
Absolutely. Great point. Which leads us to the third of her children. In fact, there was a bit of debate between Timothy Zahn and the late, great, rest in peace, Tom Veitch regarding Leia's pregnancy, because they both wrote like what happened immediately after Return of the Jedi for the big three, and they both had Leia pregnant. But then Timothy Zahn wanted to birth the babies in his trilogy, and if I'm not mistaken, so did Tom Veitch. They compromised the first two babies because Timothy Zahn had to win, right? Twins, echoing Luke and Leia, right?
Yeah.
Were born in the Thrawn trilogy. And then tell us, Emily, who was born in Dark Empire.
Anakin Solo.
Hmm.
Very interesting name. So she was pregnant twice, and so Anakin was born after Jason and Jaina.
Oh.
So she had, what is it? How many under 4? Like 3 under 4. How far apart in age were they?
I
They're
guess
That
fairly
is a
close.
Great
Aren't they?
question.
It's
It,
you don't
it
don't
could be as
they're
much as 5
tight.
years,
Hmm.
but it could be way less than that. And thank you for blindsiding me with this factual question I don't know the answer to. Somebody in the chat will if we stall for long enough.
yeah. Don't question the will of the Force, man. I mean,
Aaron in the chat says, I think the twins are 5 and Anakin is 2 or 3, which makes sense.
yeah.
That the timing works out there. And there's a life essence transfer, by Palpatine. What?
An
Oh,
attempted
man.
one, a foiled attempt in Empire's End. This is the two-part miniseries that finishes off kind of anticlimactically the Dark Empire trilogy.
Anticlimactic. He just tries to possess a child. That's fine.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
Okay.
it was reduced. It wasn't the original creative team. Cam Kennedy
Oh.
didn't come back. It's
Yeah.
a different
Mhm.
artist. It's shorter.
Mm.
It needed the full 5-6 issues. Would have been better. It's still good. Go ahead, Freddie. Take it away.
Well, okay. So this is the comic where Palpatine. It's the series where Palpatine is has made. It's the trope that we used right during Legends Look Back, and the memes that we've been talking about. The naked Palps. He is just trying to get himself into a new vessel because he is aging, and his clone isn't holding up, and so he tries to.
Yeah, Luke destroyed all the other clones, so he's left
Yeah.
with the last clone body. Yeah, because there's naked
Exactly.
Palpses all over the floor.
Oh,
All of
man.
them just slobbery, moist,
Oh.
everything.
Oh.
And bloody because he slew them.
Yeah. Well, it's that remains to be seen because if it's via lightsaber, it'll just be charred body parts.
Just for the image, for the mental picture, Freddie.
Yeah.
There's
Like
no-
Han
So,
Baba's arm.
As you can imagine, just what would we call it? Was that like a cloning vat, liquids everywhere? Palpatine
Yeah.
in his last remaining clone, and the clone is aging quickly. And in order for him to, he doesn't have any more of those, but he needs some sort of force child, a powerful force child. And so he was going to transfer that essence, that soul, I would assume, into Anakin, which is crazy because you'd have to like have this baby Palpatine
That is
until
the
it
most
grew up.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Isn't there a movie where that happens? Is it Austin Powers?
Oh
Where
my
there's
gosh.
There's
The
a baby.
mini me?
Oh, mini me? No,
Maybe
that's
that's
just
what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
sassy, angry, ornery little baby.
yeah.
Ooh,
Sure.
Yeah.
what
I
an
don't know.
interesting idea.
We're gonna pivot from that point. Anyway, that's Emily. What I was referencing when we found out you were pregnant, and I was like, may your child have significantly fewer attempted possessions on
Yeah,
your unborn
That's right.
soul
Yes.
than anyone in Legends.
No Sith
Mm.
essence transfers here. Not gonna happen.
Now, Rick, have you read these yet?
Which one? Dark Empire?
Yeah, Empire's
Um,
End.
Empire's End. No, I've not gotten that far yet. I'm still like, I think halfway through the first series book, whatever you want.
That's
to call
fine. I
And
think Freddie. It's in the third one with Empatajoyos Brand.
I was gonna say your favorite Jedi. I kept saying Farfall is not your favorite.
It's I want to see a duel to the death between Farfalla, Valentine Farfalla, and Empatajoyos Brand. Emily, you were saying before the show that this description of Empatajoyos Brand sounded made up, right?
Like, what is this roliest, poliest, steampunkiest Jedi? Like, what even is that?
Yeah,
I don't
hold on.
even know.
It is exactly how you.
Do we
read
have
it.
an image? Like, what?
You just gotta Google it.
Just Empatajoyos Brand.
Empatajoyous
Yeah, you can
Brand.
spell it easily. It won't be. It's not that difficult. Empatajoyos Brand.
I legitimately didn't know what that was until like I saw it in the show notes and I was like, that's obscure.
All right, let
I'm
me
just
help
gonna
you.
wait for some help.
Let me help you picture it. He is.
The Rollies Polio steampunk.
Oh my gosh, it's the oh my goodness. It's the roly poly Buzz Lightyear guy.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. That's what you
Oh
call him.
my gosh.
He's a ball with a head in the helmet, with a lightsaber arm, and the other one's what? Like a not a
tool of some
blaster.
sort.
It's like an injector,
this?
like a syringe. Yeah,
It's
he's
Empatajoyous
steampunk.
The
Brand.
BB-8 Buzz Lightyear. What?
Welcome
He's
to
great.
Legends.
Anyway, the relevance on
He
this show
saves
is
Anakin?
he sat. Okay, this is a little bit spoilery for a
I mean,
great,
it's a legend.
absolutely great comic. All right, here we go. He sacrificed himself. He like takes the bullet, the essence transfer, but then Palpatine's body can't handle being inside Empatajoyos Brand steampunk rollerball, so it kills naked Palps.
Wow.
Something like that. Sounds
Yeah.
right,
What
Frank.
a
like that.
way.
There you go, Rick.
Thank
we
you.
didn't.
Great
We won't
story.
spoil it for you.
All right.
You'll see it. You'll get there.
Back.
All
Oh
right.
my
So we talked
gosh.
about the solo children. We had Jason and Jaina and Anakin, and by the tumultuous experiences they had, it's a miracle that they lived to adulthood. Will they live past adulthood? We won't say on tonight's show, but I mean, live past adulthood. I guess that's it. All right. Yeah, who we got here? These are the twins.
Yeah,
Ooh.
We
sorry.
got an image of the twins,
Yep.
and
Nice photo.
then
Or,
we had one of
image of it.
Anakin. Yeah, here we go. That's a beautiful image of
Mm.
Huh.
Palpatine.
I
holding-
want your essence.
Give me the baby.
What in the world?
C-3PO's.
belly.
Oh,
All right, please
I
caption
didn't
this
have
picture,
any
everybody.
corn. Okay.
Please, everybody, caption this photo
Oh my
for us
God.
and throw it in the Discord or tag us on Twitter. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, it's C-3PO's bugging out in that photo. All right,
Yep.
he
now
really
please-
is. Is it Sith lightning? You think, or no? Is he just
That's gonna
shorting
be my
out?
best guess.
Mm.
I feel like
Yeah.
he's shorting out.
He's just overloading by what he's beholding in front of his eyes.
You're gonna do what?
There's one more. I can't even do this. There's one more notable baby of the Skywalker solo lineage in the main chronology of Legends, and that is none other than Ben Skywalker. Freddie, tell us about Ben Skywalker.
Yeah, Ben Skywalker.
that
so,
picture.
what was it? New Jedi Order balance point is when the pregnancy was announced for Ben Skywalker. But in the NJO Edge of Victory 2 Rebirth is when we actually see Ben Skywalker being born. And honestly, I remember back in the day when this first dropped, and I was like, wait, what? There's a Skywalker, another Skywalker, because there's been solo kids for a long time, but no Skywalker kids, right? That was
it
the
was a
big one.
big deal. in
Another Skywalker.
that beautiful Emily. Perfect quote.
That's
It was
exactly
a big
it.
deal, wasn't it, Freddie, back when this happened?
Oh, totally. We didn't, like I said, right? We had solo children for a long time. We had 3 of them, right? The twins, and Anakin, but nothing on Luke's side. We weren't really sure what was going on, and then of course we meet Mara Jade, and Luke meets Mara Jade, and that relationship just rockets. You got that beautiful picture there.
The rest is history.
Exactly.
Now, this pregnancy is not without its drama, though, right?
Yes.
No, yeah. There's definitely some drama. His unborn self is attacked by the deadly Yuuzhan Vong spore virus.
Now,
Because
Emily,
Mara.
as I was writing this, I was like, I wonder if this is going to disturb Emily, like as her baby's
Yeah,
about to
it's
be born.
okay.
Thinking about all these
It disturbs me.
babies being
It's a great
attacked.
idea, but as everyone is like getting attacked by spores and kidnapped, like yeah, that's fine. It's
It's a safe
it's
world. to have
Skywalker
a
solo
child.
kids. Yeah.
Oh, but no. So Mara Jade, she was attacked by the what is it? The
Was it
the coom spore.
I've always said comb spore, but
Coom spore.
I always thought it was comb spore. It's another one of those things.
Because the Yuuzhan Vong were like trying out like biological weapons basically on like a group of like a small group, and she was among them and the only one that survived, I believe. So she didn't think that she could get pregnant. So I think that Ben Skywalker was a huge surprise because like it took all of her effort to fight off the disease. And she got like really sick toward the end of her pregnancy, didn't she?
there was a lot of backlash from fans back when this was happening because they were saying
Yeah.
like you have a strong woman Jedi Master for the first time ever at this point in Star Wars publishing, and they sidelined her with a deadly disease, and basically she was weakened. And then they made her a mother, which was like, okay, well, now is she going to take care of the kid instead of being a Jedi and fighting? And anyway, we've had this debate before. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it is a tumultuous pregnancy. But he emerges victorious, and she is eventually cured of the disease. We won't say how. It's a big plot point in the new Jedi Order. So, Emily, if you're keeping count, so far we've had how many children? 1, 2, 3, 4 children. All 4 of their lives in danger by the
all the
age
time.
Well, because they're all Jedi. That's
the
the
age of
problem. Just don't have
1 year
Jedi kids.
They're
Did we
Jedi
mention-
kids from the most prominent Jedi family.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like what is it? Child celebrity Jedi.
Yeah, basically.
They were doomed from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you think, Emily, about like the drama of bringing a child into the world today, and it feels. We did a whole baby Sunday at church a couple weeks ago, and my co-minister made this point, and I was like, it's kind of strong words there. He was like, it's a brave thing to bring a child into the world today. Yeah, you just got to be thankful you're not bringing them into the galaxy
least-
far, far away.
At least
Yeah.
the Yuuzhan Vong aren't here yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
or Palpatine.
Yeah, don't you like love when you get so into the world of Star Wars? You're like, man, I just wish that everything would just be nice and peaceful. And then you're like, wait a minute, it's called Star Wars. That's probably
Ooh,
never going
yeah.
to happen. It's not Star Piece.
Star.
We could call it Star Babies, like Muppet
Star
Babies.
Beats.
Okay.
Piece.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, one more solo Skywalker child. This one is the next generation.
Mm.
However, Rick, why don't you take Alana Solo?
Well, you said the next generation, so now I'm Star Trek triggered.
No.
Oh man.
But I
Just
will.
stop.
I'll talk
Stop.
a little bit about Alana Solo. I'm gonna butcher all these names, so y'all get ready. We have Alana Solo, the daughter of Jason Solo and Tenel Ka Joe.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool, yeah.
Good. Good.
Thank you. So the Hapan, and Dathomiri princess is that mom that I'm guessing.
Well, yes.
Okay.
But then Alana would be the lineage.
Okay, I see. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's nice. That transfers. Raised by Han and Leia after her parents' untimely demise. Thanks for that spoiler. And then
It's the Star Wars.
I
You
know,
just said
I
it
know,
yourself.
I know. And then fun fact, has a pet Nexu. Not bad. That's a pretty good pet, I'd say.
She does have a pet Nexu. Yeah.
What's a Nexu?
It's like that cat tiger looking thing with a bunch of teeth
Like the
From Attack of the
Um,
Clones.
in Attack of the Clones.
The one that tears
Oh.
Padme's midriff.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking
Bless,
about.
yeah. Yeah.
It's really cool. You
It's a
think
fun
about
one.
Has
this.
a pet Nexu?
A
Yeah,
solo grandbaby, the daughter of a Jedi and another Jedi / queen.
Happen.
Don't they
Where's
both
the-
end up being Sith?
No.
Is it Happen or Happen? I
Not in
can't
this
remember.
timeline.
Hapen, right.
Hapen.
This is
Hapen.
where the joke comes from, Freddy, of the planet Hapes or Hapes.
Hapes. That's right.
I like to call it.
Hapes.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Hey,
So-
peas.
They're in the Young Jedi Knight series. Jason and Tenel Ka, they're like childhood best friends. Anyway, the
Okay.
series takes off. And there's actually a funny joke that emerges. Rick, as
Oh,
an upstanding man, tell the good folks about what Ben Skywalker said to Jason and Tenel Ka.
Yeah, so are they cousins, I guess?
Jason and Ben, yeah.
Okay, so Jason and Ben,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Uh,
Jason's also his Jedi master.
Oh, wow.
Ben is his Padawan.
Nice. Okay. So Ben Skywalker told Jason and Tenel Ka, "You're not married and you had a baby? You guys are going to be in so much trouble." How was that? That's my best Ben.
Not so different from how it sounds in the audiobooks.
Yeah, definitely different. We'll have to hide that version. If you're ever gonna get some voiceover work, Rick, let's make sure they don't listen to this episode.
Yeah, I know. Not my best. Not my best.
I appreciated the
but
commitment though.
Thank
it was
you.
I give you a 10 out of 10 on that one.
I just went with
Mm.
it. I just went. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
What's
take
funny
risks.
is this staunch conservatism really is in line with what we read a couple weeks ago from
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
Oh.
Boba Fett.
It was like marital relations are only for, you got it.
Married peoples.
Yeah, that's
Married,
right.
yeah.
So, Legends,
And
the
if I'm not
conservative
mistaken,
version of Star Wars.
yeah. Ben Skywalker grows up to be a pretty straight edged Jedi, but I can't remember him too much, honestly.
Let's
I'm
not
gonna have
say
to
too much
refresh
about it
myself.
because,
Yeah.
there's a lot to enjoy with
Mm.
that late in the Legends
True.
chronology.
And it's far, right? We're getting into the offspring of the offspring, right? And we've seen this story go all the way from Anakin to Anakin's mother, right? So we're seeing several generations just in front of us in Legends, which is so interesting to see at times. See like
What's
a
fun
whole,
about
a whole
this
child.
is Ben does have a Sith girlfriend at one point. So do they have another child? We won't say. We do know that later down the line in the Legacy comics, Luke has a descendant,
He
Cade
does.
Skywalker, who does space drugs, and
Space graffiti.
he doesn't want none of
And
this
he's a
Jedi
rock
business.
star.
Now we've talked about the good guys. Let's talk a little bit about some of the villainous spawn in Legends. Freddie, tell us
Spawn.
a little bit
What
about
a
who
phrase.
we got here.
The spawn. Yeah, the villainous spawn. So we've got right off the bat, who is it? We've got Quinlan and Dromica, the Sith siblings from Knight Errant. So those are some interesting dark villainous spawn.
Yeah, somebody in
Uh,
Discord, I don't have it right in front of me, wanted to make sure that we talked about them. So all we're gonna say is they exist. There's like these warring Sith lords in
Yeah.
the Knight Errant series, but they're like this brother sister twin duo. It's really interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of convoluted, the lore in Knight Errant. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
It's its own thing for sure. There's comics and a book. So there's a lot to enjoy there. All right, continue.
We've got this next one, which is fairly interesting. Palpatine, Palps, which I mean, we see him in Darth Plagueis as a younger. I'm not sure how old he is there, but he immediately slays his entire family, right? Which is really a turn to the dark side. But Palp's dad was actually scared of what's Palp's dad's name? Sheev's dad at this moment, Consignia.
Kasinga.
Kasignia.
I like to
Kasinga,
say
that's
it
right.
like Kasinga.
Cossinga.
Right.
Kazinga. He was actually scared of Sheev Palpatine as a baby, which is to be scared of a baby, like a whole grown man being scared of a baby. That's an interesting thing, and you can just imagine the kind of, I guess, darkness that this child had before he was even really supposed to have it.
Rick's
right?
looking at you like he was scared of his own kids.
Not my own kids. Not my own kids. But I've known some babies that it's like, there's something not right about that child.
You are a Palpatine.
There's
Babies?
There's a point in the book, Emily, somebody in the Discord, please give us the quote, the direct quote. It's haunting, where
Yeah.
he says, "From the moment I held that child in my arms, I knew he wanted to kill me." And it's like, oh, I don't like that one bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some happier stuff, such as Balps's
This is really encouraging.
illegitimate offspring, such as Elderlath Palutopes. I can't even say it.
Oh, yeah.
Alopides?
Ederlath,
Pelopides?
Palopides,
Yeah.
Palopides.
Where there's a lot of, in the Legends world, a lot of jokes about Elderlath Palutopes. She is, I can't even say it. In the Dark Empire source book, I'm not sure that she's in any like legitimate stories, but the idea is she's Palpatine's great niece who tried to seize the Imperial throne after his death in Dark Empire, or like maybe was used by other people, you know, because Palutopes sounds a lot like Palpatine, right?
Hello,
I'm
Lord
Darth-
Palpatine.
Like a Greek ancestor.
And then there is, of course, Ken Palpatine, the Palpatine's grandson, maybe from the Jedi Prince series, the descendant of, what is it?
Triclops, Trioculus.
Triclops, not Trioculus. Trioculus fakes it, but
Yeah.
Triclops, you know, Palpatine's mutant son. It gets very wacky with Palpatine's family lineage in Legends, for sure.
So he just
For
gives
sure.
up and is like, "We're just gonna make clones. Clones are easier. I like myself more than
That's
any
right.
offspring
That's
I could
right.
produce."
All
Young
right, so
Palps.
before we close out the
Those are
show,
answer.
lightning round here, some parenting questions in
Mm.
general. Ready? Emily, we're going to start with you, the resident, a new parent to be. All right.
Well,
Who is the best parent, in your opinion, in Star Wars?
Oh, Django Fett for sure.
Take that
Absolutely.
tooth.
Yeah. Just go in there and get a tooth.
Man,
Doesn't
what
matter how. You'll never
Freddie.
be afraid again.
Definitely wouldn't mind just leaving the kids off with my awesome rad nanny and just taking off, hanging out in the luxury yachts. Just-
Well, that's my answer. Is Lando is the fun uncle.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
There's a
sure.
good book or two,
the Funko.
Washington, where people, you know, Lando's like, all right, kids, hop in the Lady Luck. We're gonna go for a joyride. And so that would be very fun. Rick, best parent in Star Wars?
Best parent. All right, this isn't totally Legends, but I'm gonna go
It's fine.
with Shmi Skywalker. Just like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, Qui-Gon, you look like a trustable old man that I'll let my child go with and live the rest of his life with. So yeah, sure,
gambling
that's fine.
Jedi. Yeah, sure.
sure.
Go with the gambling Jedi with the rabbit with the tongue friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
what
You
could
know?
go wrong?
Yeah. All right.
Well.
Next up, best babysitter in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked
Winter?
about Winter.
Definitely not C3PO.
Maybe if he had an upgrade to his parenting firmware or something, he'd do a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
better. But
And that was his thing, right, Jared? He kept saying, I'm not coded for this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not programmed for this.
They made the joke on the Cosmic Force that C-3PO would be a good therapist in Star Wars because he's programmed with 6 million forms of communication. Surely, like, emotional communication is one of them,
It
right?
are
should
the
be
5
one.
love languages? Are they among them?
I don't believe in the 5 love languages,
What do you believe
But-
in,
Ooh,
Jared?
hot take.
but mine is food.
No Enneagram, no love languages, man.
No, it's all pseudoscience.
I mean, that is
You-
true. Those are.
You know what's
pseudoscience.
real science? Star Wars.
Yes.
Where parsecs are what is it? A time, not a distance.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, last question for the night: how many Legends books can you think of a Legends book? Name a Legends book with a baby-related title.
Heir to the Empire?
Heir to the Empire. Heirs. There you go. All right, there's one. Freddie.
Children of the Jedi.
Children of the Jedi. And Rick.
Ooh.
Scoundrels.
Hold on.
Um,
Hey!
uh,
That's not even technically Legends, is it?
Isn't there one? Is
Let's
there?
see.
It is. It is. Is there a book
It is,
called
yeah.
Descendants of the Dark Side? Is that like a children's book?
Descendants of the Dark.
If it's
Side.
not, I just made it up.
it sounds legit. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that there's one that was almost Legends.
Well, you could go Dynasty of Evil. That's kind of.
Dynasty.
That's
All right,
true.
there's
Yeah.
one.
There
Good
you
job,
go.
Rick. You got one.
True.
Good job.
You got one. They took the easy picks. And I will say there's one more I was thinking of with a baby-related title. Oh, Heir to the Jedi. Heir to the Jedi
Mm.
was about to be a Legends book, and we pushed it out into canon back in 2014 with all of its space noodles. Well, the fact of the matter is, Baby Yoda has taken the world by storm. Emily's baby is taking Legends Look Back off the rails. Emily is going to be out for a few weeks. They are discussing inducing the baby. We're not going to give any more personal details other than the fact that if Emily's not on the show, she is.
You know why.
She's in the hands of what's that nurse droid from?
Oh, my
no.
gosh. What is that,
Ooh-ah.
Rick?
Ooh, my.
Yeah,
So-
Uba. What's the name of that droid from Revenge of the Sith?
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, man. That would be awesome. I don't know the name.
Oh, and Wes has bailed me out. There is a Star Wars book called Descendants of the Dark Side. It's a little golden book for all of your younglings. Am I right? Perfect for this episode. Well, we have talked tonight all about the best Rugrats of the galaxy far, far away.
Roar.
Now-
I am Reptar.
I did have a friend in high school with a Reptar tattoo.
That's sick.
Which-
Ooh.
All these years later,
A
still
Reptar tattoo.
is really a rad choice.
Mm.
And it was a rad
Rad.
choice for all
Rad.
of you to watch the show tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on
Choice.
Legends Look Back. If you would like to catch some of the other Utini shows, Freddie, I'm going to let you do the outro in a second. I will say this much. I will say this much. Coming up Monday, the Midnight Horizon Roundtable Part 2 on the Living Force, Monday, March 14th. Wednesday, the Paolo Villanelli Spotlight. That might have been changed to something else. The Cosmic Force is on Wednesday night. And then next week, we've got the Crimson Empire Roundtable. It is going to be bloodier than anything ever in the history of Legends. Hence, Crimson.
Mm.
Yeah, there it
Mm.
is.
Mm.
So, Freddie, take us out.
All right. Well, that does it for this week. Thanks for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, and we're glad that you're here along for this ride. A special thank you for our Jedi High Council, OK Endar, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, and our Alliance High Command, Matt Billington, Elizabeth Cloutier, Freddie C., and Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to this channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. We want your thoughts read on the show. If you do want your thoughts read on this show, email us at legendslookback@utini.com or send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. Leave a comment on this episode on YouTube or find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back. Jared.
I'm Jared Q. Mace.
Ooh, there's Jared. And I am Freddie at Wake Up Freddie. Rick
At Rick_Grace.
and Emily.
At Darth Daybeck.
If you're looking to buy some of these books and you want to help support the show, Let's see here. Jared's cursor's in the way. Can't read that part
Oh,
of the notes.
sorry.
Look up your book on Utini. Click the Amazon link in the profile, or you can leave a review. Let us know what you think. And remember to keep the Utini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.
From what is that, Bruce Almighty, when
Yeah.
he takes over the prompter, and I like it, do the cha-cha.